Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I wanted to talk about the primary difference between me when I was starting my business and who I am today. So just for some background, I actually started my business when I was about just turning 17, at least the online stuff. Before that, I was doing photography, selling like portraits, and I actually got into wedding photography and it made pretty good money, actually, probably like $3,000 or $4,000 a month doing weddings, probably not even that. At one point it was a six-figure business, but not for very long. And then I went through a house fire, lost all my gear, and decided to go digital. First thing I sold was, marketing services, and then also coaching for starting a wedding photography business. I was kind of everywhere. I sold a course on starting a wedding photography business. I sold marketing services. I was everywhere. I wasn't focused at all, which is one of the points of this video, and we'll get into that. So let me actually do this for you. Let me pull up and ignore the glare. I cracked my phone and haven't replaced it yet. I've literally recorded like 3 videos at this point. Every single one has had that problem because I'm just too lazy to do anything about it. So I actually found this photo. Let me see if I can pull it up. This is me, man. So this is me back when I was first starting. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. That was me when I was first starting. That was me in the bedroom of the rental home. This is actually one of my best friends at the time. Their family offered my family their home for rental, and I was actually in my best friend's bedroom, who I'd known since I was like 13, working out of his bedroom, and it was really weird, because I remembered having like sleepovers and stuff in there, and so I was trying to build a business out of there, and that was 2 years ago, and here I am today, in my nice apartment that I have downtown where I grew up at, which is very surreal. And just down the road, I could literally probably lean out of my window, look a little left, and see it, is a prestigious business college, which was the one that I was told I should go to in order to succeed, and yet I never really even fully finished high school and was able to start and grow a multiple 5-figure monthly business with the goal of having $100,000 profit a month sometime in 2020, which I honestly fully believe I can do, but we'll see. I need to make it about my clients, not about me, and let that guide me, right? And that's a big part of what helps you grow, is making it not about you, make it about serving the people who pay you and about building legacy. But that being said, I want to talk about the biggest differences between who I was and who I am today, and how you can actually change who you are. Because if I'm 100% honest with you guys, the most important thing that I've done is not, build better systems, is not be better at marketing, is not learn Facebook ads, is not learn sales, is not learn branding, it's not any of this stuff. The most important thing that I have done is take my standards and raise them. It's not have bigger goals. It's not have loftier goals. It is not having, more drive, more ambition. In some ways, I'm lazier now than I was in that bedroom. In many ways, I am actually much lazier now. And let me explain myself. So there's a really great idea that I subscribe to, and that's that you are not the accumulation of your greatest goals and the things that you strive for. You're actually simply the result of the standard that you set for yourself. Okay, so if you have big goals, get rid of them. Goals are not the thing. I've never had real, true, honest, goodness goals. So when I told you over here, I was sitting right here, I said I want to make $100,000 a month profit, I immediately shifted the conversation. You notice too, I need to serve my clients better. It's not about my goals, it's about the process that gets me to the goals, right? And along the way, you're raising your standards. So what standards are you accepting for yourself that maybe you shouldn't be, would be the question that you should ask, right? What standards have you accepted? What narratives have you accepted about your life that maybe you should deny? One of the narratives that I was tempted by. Here's one I was tempted by. So for those of you who know me very well, you also know that my father is also a successful digital marketer, right? And one of the weird narratives that I kept hearing over and over again was that success is like this pendulum. It swings. Like one generation is successful, then the next isn't successful. And because their lack of success inspires the next generation, then the next generation is successful. And it goes back and forth. Because, growing up with money, you have to then be lazy and abuse the money. But, I asked to pay rent at 17. My parents didn't want me to. I desired to do so because I was so scared of that narrative, right? And that was the narrative that was told to me. And that's what I believed until I was about 17 or 18. I just thought I'm supposed to kind of just, mooch and not grow anything for myself. But I changed that. And how did I change that? Maybe yours is that you come from a poor family and you feel like you're not able to grow. Whoops, almost tripped on this thing right here. Maybe you're from a poor family. Maybe you're from a family with a lot of negative belief systems about business, about running your own business. Maybe you come from a poor country. Maybe you come from an area where, money is demonized. And I actually grew up in the Christian church, and I still am a devout Christian. But one of the problems with the Christian church, especially the westernized modern Christian church, is their desire to demonize business. You look at things like even in just popular normal Western culture. Like, for example, in the Lego movie, if you guys have seen this, it's a Lego movie. Of course, you've probably seen it. I went and saw it when I was like 14 or whatever. And the main bad guy, his name is Mr. Business. Like, the bad guy is Mr. Business. Like, business is bad. That's the narrative, right? And so there's a lot of things we have to overcome in our worldview, in our belief system. And I gotta be honest with you, the most important thing you can change in order to make more money, have more impact, do whatever you want to do, is change how you view yourself. So the way that you do this, let me give you some actual tactical advice here. The way that you do this is you stop judging yourself. That's the first thing. You stop judging yourself against any standard or par or norm that you may have accepted. All people, they look at a par or a norm that they've accepted and they judge themselves against it. That's not the way to operate. You don't look at a par or a norm. You don't look at the standard that others have set, that maybe your friends have set, that your school has set, that your environment has set. Forget those. They're not relevant to you at all. They have nothing to do with you. The standard or par or norm that you compare yourself to is who you were exactly a month ago today. This is why I keep a monthly journal. I actually write in it 2 times a month. And I'm very, very intentional about looking at who I was, who I am, and improving on that person consistently. And this is as simple as the popular phrase, the only person you should compare to is yourself. Truly, that is the golden key. Honestly, that will be better for you than anything else that you could possibly practice. If there's one thing that I could get people to do, I sell coaching, I sell a course, I do all this stuff, and I'm actually integrating training on the self-image into a lot of my courses simply because of my true unfiltered belief in these ideas. If there's one thing that matters more, it's more than anything, it's this. So first, stop comparing yourself to the average par or norm. Forget the average par or norm. You're not average. The average only exists in your head. That's the only place where the average exists. There's no other reason for the average to exist. Excuse me, I gotta sneeze. Sorry. These videos are very raw and uncut. I apologize. I'm just trying to get some content out there because I've been focusing on the move more than anything. I need to record something. So stop comparing yourself to the average or par or norm that others might have set, and either create your own average par or norm and attach your emotions to it by feeling what it would feel like to be at that average or par or norm daily. Sit down, think about what your life would look like at that point, and get obsessed by it, right? Or forget the average or par or norm and simply be better today than you were yesterday or today than you were a month ago. Simple. Next thing is question everything that others and even yourself says about yourself. There are all kinds of tiny little narratives and tiny little stories you tell about yourself that you don't even realize you're telling about yourself. They're everywhere. Get rid of them. Replace them with better ones. I have a lot that I have right now. Like one that I have, full honest to God transparency. One that I have right now is I'm going to get so caught up in living a nice lifestyle that I'm going to forget what got me here and fail. That's a narrative that I'm telling in my head, and I'm scared of it. So I'm trying to get rid of that narrative. And the reason why is because I'm so used to living in my freaking parents' bedroom. And now all of a sudden here I am, and my next door neighbor is a professor at a prestigious business college. And so I'm trying to lean into this identity. It doesn't feel like me. And the me that I created is a far more tiny, puny little kid. And I'm trying to remove that identity and get rid of it and filter it out, flush it. It's gone, right? Because it's not moving me forward. And so I'm telling myself these little stories, these little narratives about who I am and who I'm supposed to be that just simply aren't true. Another one that I'm telling is that the more successful I get, the further I'm going to get from family. And that's not true either. That's total BS. I can control that completely. I can control how much I love my family and how much my family loves me. I can control that. It's that simple. It is as simple as loving them with an undying love and making sure they know they are loved and including them in my life. It's that simple. Another one that I'm thinking, another false belief that I have. As I scale my business, I won't be able to control spending. That's another false belief I have. That's not true. I can control spending. It's as simple as not clicking buy buttons on things that I want to own. It's that simple, right? I have all these little narratives. So identify those narratives in your head. Maybe right now they are, I can't get a client because I don't know enough about Facebook ads or something. That's a narrative. It's an excuse. It's not true. There are people, and I could introduce you to them. If you emailed me, I would give you literally phone numbers to call of students who don't know crap about digital marketing but are making six figures with their agencies because they have good contractors and they have good people who are actually doing the work. All they're doing is getting clients. You know, maybe you're saying, there's no way I could be where Trey is at simply because I do not have the same work ethic. That's when I hear a lot. They're like, man, I wish I had your work ethic. Let me be completely honest with you. I'm a lazy bum. All right, I'm a total, absolute lazy bum. I create systems and processes, and I just follow the systems and processes. Like, I literally have a system now for when I nap. Like, I know when I'm going to nap. That way I can be a lazy bum in that hour-long period where I nap. And I hired a sleep coach so I could get better sleep so that I could have more energy throughout the day because typically I get horrible sleep and I'm super lazy, right? And so now I just follow the sleep coach's advice. I just do what he says, right? And I built in daily structures that'll give me room to be a lazy bum because I am one. Like, literally, if you strip away my business and you strip away everything that I've built, like, I am an idiot 19-year-old kid who will just sit on his couch, eat potato chips, and play freaking video games all day. Like, that is the core of who I am without systems. But you gotta think, why would you do that? Well, you're just looking for dopamine. You're looking for comfort. And so I gotta find comfort and find greater highs, for example, in things that actually move my life forward. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Change your comfort zone. Where is your comfort zone? Be very honest with yourself. If you were going through a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety and you had a lot of pressure, where would you go? If you go somewhere that isn't productive for you, you need to change that. You need to fix that. Where I used to go, I used to play a bunch of video games, right? I used to eat potato chips and play a bunch of video games. That was who I used to be. That was where I went. Now, I sit down on my couch, my one couch in my apartment, my tiny one little couch, which I'm decorating this apartment, getting more furniture soon. Right now, it's literally nothing in here. And I think, and I get out a pen and pad and I think, why do I feel this way? And I address it, and I flush it, right? If I feel a certain way that doesn't align with how I know I'm supposed to feel or who I believe I'm supposed to be and how they should feel in this moment, I get rid of it. I address it. I think about it. I get rid of it. Okay? So that is how I went from this broke wimp who probably had about $1,000 to his name on his best days to somebody who's paying, you know, nearly 4 times that for just a place to sleep, right? And this honestly is not to brag. This story is not about me. This is about the principles that work for anybody and everybody if you simply apply them, all right? There's an amazing book, which I literally have clients read. I'm actually developing a process now in my agency and in certain other offers that I have, including some coaching offers, where I will buy a Kindle Oasis, which is the one that I have. It's this nice little Kindle It's an e-reader, and you can read books on this thing. It looks phenomenal, actually, and it reads great. And I'll actually fill it with books for clients and ship it to them with a handwritten note, right? And one of the books that I buy and have them read first is a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. It's an amazing book. You should read it. And basically, what it talks about is the identity and the self-image, and who you believe you are, and the narratives you tell yourself, and the falsehoods that you just accept just because you've heard them enough. And the truth is, you begin to believe the things you hear enough. There is an amount of times where after you've heard a certain phrase or idea or concept regarding you or someone else or something else, you will begin to believe that thing about you or someone else or something else. You just need to hear it enough. And you can tell yourself things. Like, something that I've told myself is, I am going to be a millionaire in my 20s. And I honestly believe that now. And because I totally believe it, I'm acting like it. It's that simple. So, I hope this video makes sense to you, and I hope this has been a valuable video for you. Honestly, if I could make my whole channel about this stuff, I totally would. But the problem is, nobody sees the value of this. Most people are just looking about how to make a quick buck or whatever. That's just not where the power is, man. We have been given from God this gift of free will and this spirit over body thing, right? Our bodies, they're just dust. We have total control over these things, man. We have the complete total domain. And once we realize that, we can do really anything we want. And this is just a stupid apartment. This is as best as I can do. Really? This is the best I can do with this? Like, that's where my head is at right now. Like, honestly, there's so much potential in the idea that you are not who you think you are. You are not who you think you are, basically. You can change. You are not a static thing. You are not a static being. You are not the same person a year from now that you are today if you simply put in the work to change. You are not a static person. You don't have one state. You can ascend or descend based on your thoughts and based on what you tell yourself about yourself. And so it sounds kind of crazy to some people, but it's completely and undeniably true. And I'm a great testament to it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Read the book Psycho-Cybernetics. It's spelled psycho like psychology, and then cyber, C-Y-B-E-R, netics, N-E-T-I-C-S, by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. You can look it up, and if I'm not a lazy bum, I'll link it in the description. So thanks to you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in my next video.